Hey guys, yeah. It's 7:33 a.m. on August the 8th, 2021. Yes, the same day. I've calmed down a bit because after the last video, I was extremely uncomfortable and creeped out, and I had to cool off for a bit. Had to talk to my sister about some stuff, cool off. But like, I've been thinking, um, Echo is a game that will scare anyone, obviously, if you're open to it scaring you. But like, I feel like having a good imagination makes it all the worse. And I have a good imagination. I always have had one, really. It's just I'm helps with writing a lot. A lot of writers have really overactive imaginations, but like a lot of the descriptions that they give in the game that they don't show, it makes it a lot easier for you to wrap your mind around if you're able to imagine it. And there still are moments where people who aren't very good at imagining things can still get scared. It's not just a game for people with imaginations. But that's the thing, isn't it? In it, the very thing that made the Losers Club so strong against it was their imagination, their belief. It's interesting how it can be a double-edged sword like that. It can be a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. Let's just go in. Right, those are from the two outcomes of the choices, right? Oh geez, I stopped at 5:17 and I started at like 3 in the morning. Wow. Alright, Saturday, here we go. What the fuck is this? I stand above the turnbuckle, holding my arms high above my head, and flicking my strong tail behind me. I hear a lot of boos in the crowd, but that's how it's supposed to be. I'm a bad guy, or rudo, as they call it here. I'm not actually a bad guy for real, though. It's just an act. Flashing of cameras is a little distracting, but nothing I can't handle. I'm good at keeping cool. I reach out, making sure my mask is secure, even my muzzle is covered. I can't risk my identity being revealed, especially in a match against Tiger Santos. He's one of the technicals, the good guys, the real goody tissue. What is this? I don't trust him. He's too good. I don't trust people that are too good. They're always hiding something. The announcer shouts in a foreign language that I don't understand, and I growl while flexing my giant muscles toward nobody in particular. Tigray has been staring at me from across the ring this whole time. No showbuddy, no. That's not his character. I think this is Sydney. Talking. At like 7.5 feet, I'm totally bigger than him. He's only 5'6", so I could basically eat him for breakfast. The crowd's always cheer for the smaller guy, though. I know. Smaller guys can be just as bad as big guys, maybe even worse. I looked at the crowd. There's like a couple thousand people here, which is a lot. Sometimes I wish I could just tell them all the truth. The bell rings. It's time. Hey! Dad yells from the kitchen. I flinch and it feels like my stomach is suddenly tied in a knot. Not now, please. Dad walks in. He's wearing all camouflaged underside scout cap. Seems to squeeze his head. Yeah, this is Sydney. What are you doing? I look down at my feet and picks him at the fibers of the rug. I don't respond. I hear him step in front of me. The crowd chanting on the TV catches his attention. He stops. You know you can't be watching this. And you also know what today is. You're still in your pajamas. Watching this. That lets out a noise I really can't describe. I look up, he's pointing at the TV. Stands there watching for a moment. What is he doing, other man? A reverse suplex. And this is fun for you? You enjoy watching this? I don't know. It's just on. I lie. Dad looks down at me and I can't tell whether he believes me or not. When I say something, you need to listen. Last night I told you to be dressed in clothes I give you and be ready to go by 5. It is over 15 past 5, you're not even dressed. I'm sorry, okay? Dad sighs, stepping out of the room. His footsteps are heavy, but he doesn't care that Mom and my brothers are still trying to sleep. Next thing I know, he's back in the living room. He tosses another camouflage out of my lap and sits a rifle on the couch. When your mother and I talked about sending you up north to your uncle, we were not joking. Dad points again at the TV. And there's certainly no television up there, no violent video games, and no adults that tolerate this sort of behavior. Ball my paws up into fists, pushing them under my stomach. Don't say anything. Anytime you say anything, it makes it worse. Dad looks at my paws and lets a strain amused sound and grunt. What, are you gonna hit me? Do you want to punch me now? Is that what you're learning? Again, he's pointing at the TV. His eyeballs are bulging, his mouth is hanging wide open. The way his hat tucks his head makes him look different, scrunching up his features. I don't know why he's wearing it. It looks uncomfortable. I am so sick of your behavior. We are all so sick of your behavior. I feel my breathing starting to get shaky. Don't cry. Don't give him the satisfaction. Are you sick? He just keeps staring at me, the same expression on his face. I drop Tiger's torso down on my knee in the back breaker. The crowd roars. I'm grinning beneath my mask, playing up the part for all the jeering and the hatred. They may love to hate me, but that's still love. Tiger been getting a lot of good blows in now, actual blows. His stiff arms like nobody's business. I'm a little bloody, but that's okay. I'm tough. It's my thing. I'm tough. I'm really tough. But so is Tiger. He's so small, so he's got a lot of finesse and he can dodge a lot of my stuff. Climb over the top rope into the format below. They always keep a few goodies beneath the ring for people like me. Pulling the flap off on a pile of long wooden staves. Music gets cut. What? I yell to the crowd and they boo in response. They're really, really mad. Tiger is still growing, curling his belly. As I approach, he mutters something in his native tongue that sounds like a bunch of cuss words. Not so good after all, I guess. Time to get revenge for all those stiff hits from earlier. A mighty heave, I bring the staff down to... Fuck! The Barkley bounces and the lady fan of Tiger. Then the crowd scream. What the fuck is this shit? Realizing how hard I'm hitting now, he scrambles up to his knees. Though I just hit him right back down. That's what you get. Shoulder twitches and he quickly clutches it with his free hand, rolling onto his stomach more curses. This is not okay. I hit him again, this time in the soft stomach. The fuck? There's no referee to help him now. I hear him gasp, point his paw in front of him, trying to protect himself. This time I hit him in his crotch. Not there's much to hit. He's a little penis. What the fuck is this? Mine are huge, of course. I have to wear like this super big cup so that things don't... What the fuck is this shit? What is happening? I drop down on top of him, grabbing him by the strong of his spandex leotard. He whimpers beneath me, his black and orange tail coiled inward between his legs. I lower my voice, speaking in a deep, raspy tone. Don't stiff-arm me again. Or else, Tiger Santos. I think he quivers out, I won't. What is happening? He's probably so humiliated right now. His eyes are like saucers looking at me and waiting to see what I do next. They're completely at my mercy and everything. I bet he'd really be humiliated if I... What the fuck is happening? Unmasked? What? And then I'll pull him up and hug him in front of everybody. He'd be so ashamed. I'd show them all that I'm the real good guy. Maybe he'd like that and feel better. That's fine, too. I place my thumbs beneath the ball of mask and pull up. What is happening? Dad's gunshot rings out so loud and it seems to shake the leaves off the trees nearby. Some kind of bird falls from the sky. I think it's a dove, because it's all white and stuff. Or at least, it was white. I actually saw a pink mist when the bird shot hit it, like in the movies. The rest of the flock keeps flying as if nothing had happened. Dad looks over his shoulder toward me, his breathing heavy. I can see the wisps of fog when he exhales, it's that cold. It takes him a while to actually speak. Oh, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? What the fuck they give him? Why? You see that? Yeah. Smiles tightly. I got him. You did. I'm gonna go grab the carcass you say put, alright? Okay. Ned turns back, jogging across the dewy grass to where the bird fell. I adjust myself and lean against the nearby tree. I wish I was home. My friends are still probably sleeping in, enjoying their warm, heated houses and all that. I can't focus here. It sucks, but Dad really wanted to go bird hunting. I asked him yesterday why he couldn't just do it alone. He and Mom just got really mad. I don't even know what sets him off anymore. It could just be the littlest thing, and suddenly everything's all shitty. My rifle is kind of neat, I guess. It's a .22. I played a zombie shooting game at Chase's place that had the exact same kind in it. It's really, really loud, though. Dad made me wear these big ear protectors, but it's still super intense. I swivel it around my arm before bringing the butt up to my shoulder and looking down the sights. I pretend the bush I'm aiming at is a zombie. Right. I could survive in a zombie apocalypse pretty well, probably. There wouldn't be many zombies in Echo, and nearly everyone in town has guns. I'd just go to Carl's house. It's already like a fortress, and he has tons of food and games. We'd be set. I hear Dad's footsteps and quickly lower the rifle. That's right, keep that down. He holds up a pretty messed up looking bird. Its neck half missing and blood still... What the fuck? Why? Blood still drips from the hole there. You've never eaten dove, have you? No. It's like chicken, but stringier. I raise an eyebrow. Like string cheese, but chicken? Not exactly, but... Well, you'll just have to try it. Okay. Now let's see if you can shoot something. Dad steps behind me, placing his paws on my arms and straightening my posture. Now remember what I told you, always fire on the exhale. Don't flinch at the kick either. The gun won't smack you if you get a good grip on it, your eyes and touching the sight. I'm not afraid to shoot a gun like JJ or Carl probably would be. Just a little nervous about the recoil, that's all. Suddenly Dad grabs my shoulders. Look, look, look! He points toward the sky directly above us. A bunch of birds in a V-shaped formation are overhead. Those are ducks. Duck is great. You've had duck before and loved it. Now you can get your own duck. Hurry, get sighted. I scramble to get the gun aimed up in my eye, lined up with the sight. Come on! I'm trying! The ducks are already getting pretty far ahead. I can't seem to get lined up right. Give it to me! Oh no, I've got it! Next thing I know, Dad's wrenching the butt from my shoulder and bringing the rifle up to his. It only takes him only a few seconds to get right before firing. Just like before, a bird falls from the flock, plummeting to the ground past a clearing of trees. This time the flock breaks up, scattering. Dad turns, pushing the length of the rifle against my chest. Take your gun! I clutch onto it with both hands, and Dad starts making his way forward. I follow. Why didn't you fire? I was going to. The aiming thing, the sight, it wasn't lining up my eye. I needed to get it lined up right, or else it was going to miss. Son. And then you just yanked it away. You were not listening to what I was telling you. Just like what I was saying this morning. Dad's voice raises. You just can't do anything like you're told, can you? My fingers grip my rifle tighter. It's like everything goes red. I can. You were being an asshole. I yell so loud my voice cracks. Dad turns, slaps me so hard makes my ears ring more than the gunshots do. Can we please stop this scene, please? I don't like it. I'm actually getting really fucking awful. I don't like this. My face burns and I growl into the inside of my jacket. A lump forms in my throat that I try to swallow down. I'm tough. Okay. Who taught you to speak like that? Nobody. Oh no, I think I know who. It was Flynn, wasn't it? It isn't right for you to hang around a boy like that. What do you mean? All the kids are echoing you cling to the teenage potty-mouthed gay boy. And look what happened. Shakes his head, eyes wide again, but he can't believe what he's seeing when he looks at me. You defy your parents to sit around 5 in the morning to watch men grope and hit each other. I'm breathing so hard now, it feels like I'm hyperventilating. Fuck you! Wrestling's cool and Flynn is awesome! Dad looks downright disgusted now, like he's going to be sick. The insides of his ears are bright pink with flush teeth. Fucking piece of shit. You are sick! When we get home, we'll send you up north to the ranch. I don't care, we have to pull you out of school right now. You mean the compound? Now he's clenching his fist, his tail arching still behind him. Your mother and I prayed and prayed, but son... Why don't you ever leave me alone? You're so fucking bad, you know that, stupid asshole? Dad steps toward fists raised. I bring my rifle up and aim at him. He stops. You are sick! I've never heard Dad speak with so much hate before. That being said, I've never been this angry before either. You're pointing a rifle at your father. You're going to shoot me, huh? Just don't want you to hit me! I yell so loud my voice shifts to I can't do that. That's outside my fucking ability. The rifle shaking in my paws. Everything's all blurry. I can feel my nose running. You deserve to be— No! Shut the fuck up, bitch. The words make my stomach hurt for some reason. Throw down the rifle onto the grass and face him. No, you, dude. You're so awful! I hate you so much! You won't leave me alone, you shit! All you do is threaten me and threaten me and threaten me! And Mom doesn't care! Nobody cares! My throat burns and I swallow back a blubbering cry. Dad's shaky now. He doesn't even look like Dad anymore. I don't know what in God's name Flynn has done to you. You're just mad because you don't have any friends. You don't even have a job. You suck! You're so shitty. You're pathetic. I hated you for so long. Nobody likes you! I run north, tripping over myself constantly as I can barely see where I'm going. Everything hurts. My insides are burning. Nothing will ever be the same again. I can hear him behind me, panting, furious, like a feral. Come through the clearing, then I hear him stop. When I turn around, he's not looking at me anymore. The duck that Dad shot landed squarely on the hood of an abandoned van. Oh, okay. Dad looks at the duck, the van, me, then the sky itself. Sets the rifle down on the ground. What? Next thing I know, he crouches down to his haunches. He rubs at his forehead, his thumbs rubbing along the brim of his too tight scout hat. It almost looks like it's sucking down on his scalp. I can practically see the veins bulge along his temple. He opens his mouth as if to speak, then no sound comes out. Dad's fingers grip at loose strands of grass around his feet as if they were there to keep him tethered from floating away. I hate looking at him like this. What is he doing? He shuts his eyes. Well, more like he clenches them shut like he's got shampoo in them or something. Is he praying? Fucking stupid idiot. God's not real, you know. Son. Finally speaks and doesn't sound like himself. What? From the hood of the truck, little rivers of blood lay out from the duck's chest, dripping down the front of the grill. Its eyes are still open, even though it's dead. I always thought when something died, your eyes closed and your tongue sticks out. It looks like it's staring at me. Dad doesn't respond, but he finally looks up and sees what I'm seeing. He sucks in his chest as if he'd been struck. He shuts his eyes again. His whole body shakes from it like he's having a spaz attack. It's not the same van. It's not the same van. He mutters. I don't want to watch this. I'm about to turn and walk away when I see something move in the back of the van. Just for a split second, but I swear I see a face through the dusty glass. Son. Dad repeats himself. Dad? Again, there's a flash of red, like something bouncing up. No. Okay. Dad, there's someone in the van. Dad says nothing. He won't even look now. There's someone in there, I know it. I wipe my eyes with my sleeve, clutching my fist and stepping close to the rear. No! Please, God, no! No, please, fuck no. No, please, no. I smear away the dust from the glass and press the tip of my muzzle against the... Nothing. What the hell? When I step back, Tad's up on his feet again. He doesn't look angry anymore. Just sad or empty, I guess. He picks up his rifle from the ground, holding it sort of limply with one paw. Without a word, he turns and heads back through the clearing from where we came. I stand there for a while, listening to his steps trail off. My gut begins to feel like it's being twisted into a knot. Why didn't he say anything? He always says something. Any other time he opens his mouth, I practically flinch, so why do I feel like this right now? He won't actually leave me out here, will he? I cross my arms over my chest, hugging myself. Minutes pass and nothing happens. It's like I'm rooted in place, constantly wiping my eyes and nose. Just gotta be tough. I mean, I am tough. I just don't know what to do. What the hell am I supposed to do? I hate this. Why do I have to say all that? Nothing will ever be the same again. Even if I get school, my parents will just ship me off with my uncle in the compound. You know what? Maybe that'll be fine. At least my parents wouldn't threaten me with that anymore. Maybe I'll even like making airplane parts. I don't need video games, TV, or my friends. And that'll be fine because at least I won't be around them, especially Dad. Still no footsteps. I would hear if he started up the truck from here, I think. I guess he hasn't left yet. Maybe I should start a fire or something. I never could get one going on my own in the past, but that's probably because I wasn't trying very hard. I look around and start gathering any twigs or dry grass I can find. Everything is still kind of damp, though that shouldn't matter as long as I rub hard enough. Flynn would probably make a joke about that. Or at least show me what the heck I'm supposed to do. Flynn's the outdoorsy one of our group who knows all this survival stuff by heart. Which is weird because he's gay and all. He's like the least gay-acting gay guy ever. I remember once he told me that liking girls is too girly for him. I guess that makes sense. He's not like the kind you see in the movies or my parents describe them. I sigh, sitting down and splaying out a little bed of dry grass and twigs, with a single coarse stone in the middle. After that, I take two of the sturdiest looking sticks and begin to rub them together like they do on TV. Here I am, rubbing a bunch of, okay. I am gay, but I really don't like the context this is being set in. And, of course, nothing's happening. They're getting kind of warm, but they won't rub right. Not enough friction, I think. I grit my teeth, let my heavy tail flop down in the soil behind me. I don't even care if it gets dirty now. Pads on my paws are starting to really hurt, so I bite the inside of my cheek. I look down at the pile of twigs and think I see a spark. I quicken the rubbing only for the twig to slip and scrape along the edge of my paw. I cry out in pain as a thin line of blood appears on my fur. I inhale sharply. This is so stupid, I hate this. Throw the sticks down and cover my face with my paws, sucking on my cuts. What am I doing? God, what am I supposed to do? I write myself back and forth, slowly remembering what the school counselor told me. Imagine these feelings as a physical thing that you can hold. Then take deep breaths and begin to rip these feelings apart as if they were a piece of paper that you didn't want anymore. Finally, imagine a calm place, a happy place, somewhere you can be alone and at peace. I sniff, making little ripping motions and closing my eyes. I've won the fight. People in the crowd can't believe it. I look across the sea of faces. They all hate me. Hell, maybe not all. I know there's one in this crowd who doesn't. I see him in the back where he usually likes to be. Dad's still standing there, his eyes puffy. What the fuck is happening? Dad, please. You're right. For once. I swallow back a blubbering sob, wiping snot from my muzzle. It's been so long I can't take this anymore. Stop it! Things used to be different, He inhales raggedly, tugging at the end of his facial scruff with one free paw. I used to feel things. In real time. Now it's all like a memory of a thing. He continues to stare at the van. Like this isn't happening. It happened, will happen, I don't know. It don't matter. I feel his paw tug tighter on the rifle. No, please stop! I pull back on my end of it. You know you can't stop me. I love you, please stop it! He's not even crying anymore. He's just standing there, only turning to look at me whenever he pulls the barrel of the gun close to his chin. I wish I was stronger, I really wish. Thought I could move away. Forget it ever happened. Move on, find redemption in the Lord. It's never that simple, is it? I don't know what you're talking about! My voice is shrill and hoarse at this point. Sometimes I can't even speak. I want to call out for help, but there's no one around. But Eliza had to move back here. And I loved her. So I have to grin and bear it, as they say. That's his lips. I can't. Rolls his eyes in a strange, exaggerated fashion. Anytime I try to escape it, be it physical-like or some other such diversions, it all just keeps coming back to me. Just going in circles. And sobbing on his pant leg, clinging to it, and I pull as hard as I can on the gun. It's never enough, you won't let go. Let's just go home, okay? Please, let's go home. I'm sorry. Dad says nothing. Something stirs from the back of the van. No! Even with my vision blurred with tears, it's clearer than it was before. It's a face. Dad begins to move again, bringing the rifle end up to his chin. No, please! I grab Dad's paw, trying to pull his fingers away from the trigger. Yank as hard as I can. No eyes. Stop. Stop, please. Fucking stop. No, seriously, I mean it. Find him? What? Hayes. Fuck was. Hey, is there any more of that oatmeal you want left? TJ stands beside the bed, peering down at me. Oh no, were you asleep? I blink. Chase, I'm so sorry. You were moving around so much I didn't know. Chase. Right. It's okay, TJ. I push myself up, feeling the bedsheets sticking to the back of my fur. My shirt is drenched and I smell awful. Are you okay? Concerned look crosses the lynx's face. I'm not sure how to respond. I'll get some water. He smiles at me in that eerily genuine way he does. He turns and walks to the sink. It's a subtle sound of Ollie's music coming from behind me, the suite next door. Sunlight peeks in through the beige drapery, but everything is just a pale glow. I can't gauge what time it is. I try to move my paw, slow to react. Every piece of my body's tingling with this sort of damp vibration. Sleep paralysis? But I'm awake and I just moved a second ago. Maybe I'm just dehydrated. I blink again, a little floaties dance in front of my eyes. Blobs, swirls, and smiley faces that fool you when my gaze catches them. I let a long exhale through my nostrils and shift away to my tail behind me. Today's Saturday. Today is the day. And isn't it beautiful today? Did I say that out loud? He holds the polystyrene cup already directly in front of my muzzle. I can smell it, the water. Way too mineralized, like a foggy calcium broth. But the calcium can't hurt you. It's just bones. Like a clockwork automaton, I feel my arm jerk and arise, grasping the cup and bringing the contents to my lips. I finish it in 3 swallows. Water. It's been so long since I swam, and I'm starting to really feel the need for it. Air is fine, but it's just nothing. Water is something. It's got pressure. It hugs you as you move through it. Nobody understands it like we do, I guess. I realize TJ's still staring at me, and I give him a look. Another smile, this one more sheepish. With a small grunt, I manage to throw my legs out from under the covers, my feet touching the firm carpet beneath. I rub the sleep from my eyes. I slept like 11 hours. Why do I feel like this? Looking around, I notice that the bed next to me is empty. Where's Jenna? My voice comes out higher pitched than I intended, and I quickly clear my throat. She went out. I'm not sure exactly where. I stare at him, my eyes still only half open. We were supposed to go hiking. I mean, she said she'd still like to. I'm sure she'll be back soon. Why do you want to hike so much? What? TJ frowns. You grew up here and you hiked all the time as a kid. Shouldn't you be sick of it by now? Blinks dips his paws into his pockets, his lips pursing, as he hesitates in his response. Well, my parents didn't want me going out too far, anywhere too dangerous. There's still a lot of trails I haven't been on. This is Echo. You can see everything around you for miles. There's not much surprise when you can see the entire trail. Like going through a forest or a big mountain, I can understand some of the appeal, but not this. I still read my arms and gesture to everything and noted nothing at the same time. Dude, I don't know what you were dreaming there, but what the fuck? TJ, meanwhile, just shakes his head. I think I understand what you mean, Chase, but hiking isn't about being surprised. So what if you can see what's coming? It's what happens when you're there that matters. TJ smiles again with the same youth pastor-esque vigor. I can tell it's genuine, but there's always that feeling I get that there's something going on behind those blue eyes. It's not right. Growing up, I always chalked it up to his unwavering, hypocritical dogma in contrast to my whole liking dicks thing, but now I don't. It was never enough to bother me too much, but I'm starting to wonder if this is what Flynn sees too. Jen ate the last of the oatmeal. Aww. I guess I'll stop by the diner again then. I want to check up on Janice anyway. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna have? I don't know. I'm not usually the breakfast type. When I wake up, everything in my mouth just tastes gross and it kills my appetite. Oh yes, I understand. TJ nods, turning to move back to the mini fridge. He opens it, staring inside as if looking hard enough would make a fruit parfait appear. That being said, I'm starting to miss the student union food court, something fierce. I think I hear TJ chuckle a little. You would really like our campus's cafeteria. We've got a cereal bar with around 25 different types of cereal to choose from. You can even make your own protein bars and that sort of thing. It's really cool. It actually sounds pretty good, even though my palate sort of tastes like a mix of sawdust and barf right now. Lynx pulls out a wrapped rice treat, peering at it with a squinty expression. That's a great way of describing that. I'm almost not hungry anymore. He holds up the treat, the blue tinfoil catching the window light in a bit of a curious way. I'm not sure why this is in the fridge. Oh, I just threw the whole bag of the stuff I picked up at the convenience store in there. Would you like this? Yeah, sure, I'll take it. TJ nods, tossing the treat in a gentle arc my way. I almost catch it. Ow. I rub the end of my snout as TJ looks at me wide-eyed. Oh, crimey, that you squared, Chase. I'm sorry. That's okay. I'm still waking up, I guess. And trying to realize that you're not Sydney, I guess. I begin unwrapping the foil packaging. I'm gonna eat this and shower, okay? Not in the same time, right? No. Okay, good. Just making sure I didn't hit you too hard. Another sheepish smile. I manage one in return this time. I take a bite of the treat, and to my surprise, it's actually pretty okay cold. After a moment, I notice the little blue light flash on my phone. New message. Pang of guilt sets in the rail. My first thought is, please don't be Leo. Come over, boy. I stare at the message for a good 8 seconds while remembering Carl's shtick. God. Wait, oh shit, that's right, today's his interview. I'll be over soon. I pause. There. I set the phone back down the nightstand, toss the treat wrapper into the bin beside the bed. TJ glances up at me momentarily. He's also looking at his phone. Carl's got a job interview up in Payne today. Jay looks up from his phone, grinning. Wow, that's really great. I still remember when we worked at that market shop we used to have on Elizabeth Street. Where is this one at? A print shop, I think? I don't know. Carl seemed kind of hesitant to talk about it. Oh. Well, tell him that I wish him good luck, and that's always really important that you smile. If you look like you're happy and excited, then the interviews might get that way, too. It's infectious, right? Right. I've gotten literally all my jobs just because my parents were friends with somebody who was hiring. I suppose I never really had to worry about interviewing. A noise comes from outside, the sound of jingling keys and the door being unlocked. So the police finally showed up. Jonah steps inside, giving me a bit of a curious look over when she notices I'm still in my sleepwear. Are they going to do anything? I doubt it. She strides across the room, grabbing a bottle of water from the mini fridge. Why is that? Cops seem more suspicious of me than anything. She lets out a little sigh of exasperation. Yeah, they asked me if I had been and taken any drugs. Jesus. Guess they're not used to seeing people our age around here that aren't. I think it was more anti-native sentiment than anything. Really? Yes. Dina looks back to me. She really should shower. I blink. What? I noticed when I walked in. This whole room has your oily musk scent. It's not very flattering. I frown deeply, covering my armpits and pushing my tail back over my behind. Alright, I was going to anyway. I ready to withstand before moving to the bathroom. TJ gives me a sympathetic look as I pass. I shut the door behind me after stepping inside. With a few quick tugs, I remove my shirt and underwear and place them on the edge of the counter. At home, I just throw them on the floor, but I don't really trust how clean the linoleum is here. Why do you throw your fucking... What? That's weird. I step into the shower. It gets hot quick, so I fiddle with the handle some. There's some gray fur tucked in the corners. I'm guessing TJ took one this morning. I bend down to pick up the tiny complimentary shampoo bottle from the rack and begin to lather the contents over my body. It's not exactly the best of my type of fur, but it'll work for now. Though I still can't shake the feeling that I have a cigarette smoke baked into my pores. You know, in comparison to the communal dorm showers, this is actually kind of nice. Contrary to what many may think, they're not as sexy as porn makes you believe. Being lathering further down, usually I rub one out during shower time. Though at the moment I'm pretty devoid of those feelings. Ever since I got here, back to Echo, I felt more detached from everything than I usually do. I don't know. Like, all this stuff is going on around me and I'm just... here. When I woke up this morning, it was as if I wasn't sure what was the dream, what was real. I don't even recall what the dream was about. TJ distracted me before I could re-archive it, or however it worked with remembering dreams. There was this feeling of sorrow, fear, and general helplessness. Then all of a sudden, power or agency? I'm not sure how to describe it. Weird. So Chase doesn't remember the dream, but we the reader do. Oh boy. It's familiar, but I don't know why. Like strange nostalgia without all the rose-tinted happiness. Oh, what the fuck's happening now? Dudes, I don't know about this. I peek into the bathroom, watching as Carl stares at himself in the mirror, running his fingers through his hair. I'm sure you look fine. Easy for you to say, can't even grow hair. Carl sets the trimmer down, running his fingers through his beard. You tell him, Chase. Carl looks at me and I have to agree that he looks quite a bit better. You look fantastic, a lot cleaner. Thanks. Now you might want to get the gamer stink off of you. You smell like JRPGs and energy drinks. I have myself snickering, though Carl doesn't look anywhere near a point of laughter. He just quietly shuts the door in my face. So, Chase, didn't expect I'd see you again. I look over at Action, who's standing beside the bathroom door with his arms crossed. Neither did I. Carl asked me to come over, so I did. Action nods. Do you think he's got this? I haven't known Carl long enough to say, really. I hope he does. I can't help but thinking a lot of things could go wrong, you know? Carl doesn't get out much. It's weird thinking about the future like that, isn't it? I cock my head some in the amphibian's direction. What do you mean? The infinite possibilities of things that can happen. So expect the worst. With an infinite number of timelines, there's no such thing as a worst-case scenario. Just an infinite number of varying shades of bad. Do you actually believe that? He clicks his tongue, waving his hand dismissively. No, it was an episode of Ad Astra. Yeah. Daxton peeks a furrowless brow toward me at the sound of the front door opening. We turn to make our way toward the entrance hall next to the kitchen. The familiar heavy footfalls are a dead giveaway of who's here. Didn't know job interviews were a fucking group event. Flynn's tall form meanders in, carrying a few Tupperware containers in a plastic bag. He doesn't look at either of us. Well, he wanted us to be here, and I didn't have anything else going on. He's in the shower now. I fidget with the inside of my pockets, trying to look nonchalant. Daxton's big blue eyes out from me to Flynn them back again. I have to pee in something. I'll be right back. Flynn's mouth twitches if it's to call Daxton back, but relents. Instead, he sets the bag in the kitchen island, begins rifling through it. His large tail twitches and he furrows his brow, seemingly trying really hard to concentrate whatever he's doing. Which, as I look closer, is essentially just rearranging the Tupperware in the bag over and over. Flynn... He stops. He shifts his gaze toward me, and I'm at a loss of what to say. Part of me wants to call him a fucking weird, hypocritical asshole. The other part, well, I'm not really sure about the other part yet. Maybe if I just broach the topic of... Jeez. None of this shit matters. He gestured between us. I'm not gonna try to speak cryptic to you here about my feelings and shit. I just need to know you're gonna keep your promise, Kay. He's frowning down at me with his expressions more uneasy than outright stern. Flynn... Fuck! His fist hits countertop, and next thing I know, he's moving around the kitchen and grabbing paper towels. The lasagna is goddamn leaking everywhere! It's like a fucking menstrual pad in there. Why'd you bring lasagna? Because Lord ass needs to eat something besides pizza and self-hatred for a change. As opposed to you who eats salad and self-hatreds? Shut the fuck up. At least I have a self. What's that supposed to mean? What was that supposed to mean? Flynn doesn't respond. The Gila busy with stacking paper towels underneath the bag before shoving it in the fridge. I hear the sound of hooves on floorboards and turn around. Carl had shuffled into the living room so quietly we didn't even notice. So, how does it look? He looks good, but I'm more concerned with the fact that he looks more insecure than I've ever seen him. He shifts from hoof to hoof, not making eye contact at all, his fingers pointed at the rolled-up sleeves. Very nice. You kind of look like you're pledging Alpha Lambda, but it works. What? Carl looks over at me and I give a start, realizing how bad my sound must have seemed. You do look great, Carl. But, Daxton chuckles and Carl's eyes widen. What? Beanie, do you always wear that thing? Carl has a paw to it. Usually. I can't wear that. How do you even get it on? It's stretchy and my head fur looks awful. Seriously, you can't wear a beanie to interview. Carl getting all fidgety again, so Flynn butts in. Don't wear it. Oh, come on. He looks sad and angry at the same time, which gives me pause. You go to work with your shirt hat off. I'll wear it if I want. This is my interview. Usually Flynn would banter back, calling Carl a stupid dumbass or something of that nature, but he says nothing. After a couple seconds of silence, Daxton coughs. Daxton looks at me, then back to Carl. Well, I reckon that's all right. Carl sighs and shifts around again. We watch him expectantly. Dude, just... This feels weird is all. It's new, you'll get used to it. I pull out my phone to look at the time. Alright, we really need to head out. We should get there earlier. As we head to the door, Daxton makes as if to follow us. Flynn turns around to face him as Carl heads out the door. Hey, Dax. Oh, he stops. What? After the interview, me, Chase, and some of our other friends, we're gonna be doing something. Wait, is Carl on board with this plan too? Daxton raises his brow. Oh? So could you fuck off for a bit? Jesus, Flynn. Part of me wouldn't mind a guy with Daxton's attitude present what will surely be the biggest downer of the week. And to keep Flynn in check. Daxton doesn't budge, giving Flynn an indiscernible look. After a while, Flynn just sighs from his brow. It's got to do with personal stuff. Oh, really? See, why didn't you just say that? You wouldn't want to come. There's gonna be some heavy shit. Are you the heavy shit in question? Flynn says nothing. After a moment, Daxton just exhales and shakes his head. Just let me know how the interview goes. As the salamander passes me, he speaks in a hushed tone. You deserve better, man. I look down at my feet before heading out to the car. You don't. Carl still looks confused after Flynn and I come out without Daxton. Where's Dude Man? I make a show of buckling my seatbelt. We'll talk about it after your interview. What? He's not coming? He's the guy who knows the guy who runs the place. Yeah, well, you weren't going to be bringing him inside with you anyway. Carl stares at the dashboard as I back out, pretending to be distracted so I can muster up something reassuring. You know, Carl, you should talk about some of your art while you're in there. I hear it's good to look like you have a passion, especially one that's tangentially related to what you do. To be honest, I have no clue what sort of skills you need in a print shop. I look at my rearview mirror at the Ram, and it still isn't saying anything. Hopefully not many. By the way, Flynn. Flynn's nostrils flare as if he's bracing himself. The big lizard had to back his seat all the way up to get himself enough legroom in my tiny sedan. I need to stop by City Hall before, well, before we do the thing. Why? He responds with a wary dryness. I need to scan some photos to my thumb drive. Forgot to do it when I was there last. I know where everything I need is. Shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. Yeah, okay, I got my key card, my wallet. Flynn scratches his groin idly, looking out the window as he passes the diner. I'm kind of surprised he didn't protest more. Carl stays quietly drive through the rest of the Echo, and I swear to avoid all the potholes. As I'm emerging the highway, Flynn speaks up. I cooked you some shit to celebrate you joining the workforce and such. Fancy-ass organic store ramen, thin sliced sausage and lasagna. Some recipe that my uncle used to make. That's, premature, right? If there's food or waiting for you, your fat ass can do anything. I resist the urge to nod in agreement. Hope you're right. We fall back into silence, and it stays that way for the main 20-minute drive. Carl gets more nervous the closer we get. I can see his knees bouncing out of the corner of my eyes as he stares out the window. Flynn reaches back and puts a hand with him as he pulls into the parking lot of the print shop. The Gila mutters something to the Ram. I can't make out any of it. You look awesome. You're going to do amazing. Carl starts taking deep breaths, staring out the windshield. Just be yourself. Everyone loves a relaxed employee. I wish you'd let me have a smoke before I left. Yeah, go in an interview smelling like pot. Great idea. Carl giggles nervously, but otherwise doesn't move. Do you want us to go in with you? Carl shakes his head quickly, unbuckling his seatbelt as he opens the car door. No, man, I'll be fine. Okay, cool. I'll be waiting. You know, it's weird because, I've already done this, but it was without Flynn. It was in the video I recorded of the end of Carl's route, but it didn't happen, so, He looks to Flynn, who just gives him a little nod. I grin at him, but he just shuts the door and ambles up to the print shop. He pauses, he pushes on the doors, and when they don't move, he pushes harder, shaking the glass. I start to open my door to tell him to pull instead, but he seems to figure it out before I have to and disappears inside. Oh, Carl. Fucking hell. I look over and Flynn has his palms over his face. I sigh, lean my seat back. Try to take a nap because it feels like I haven't slept in ages for some reason. Though the heat beating down through the window starts becoming too uncomfortable. I turn the AC back on, then shuffle through the station, but only find twangy country and mariachi. Yeah, this is practically the same thing that it was last time. I look at the time. 10:10 a.m. If the interview started on time, then he was probably almost done with it by now. I sort of want to go inside, but I know Carl would want me to. I settle back again and close my eyes, trying to get some relief from the failing AC. Then the door rattles and hear haphazard hoofsteps. I open my eyes, but no one's there. Flynn doesn't seem to have noticed, his own eyes closed. I do catch some movement disappearing around the side of the store, and I lean around to get a better look. I wait, but Carl, at least I think it's Carl, doesn't come back from around the corner. Looking around, I slowly open my door. Carl? Flynn awakens to start looking around some. He out yet? Nothing. Carl! I yell, but he still doesn't come out. Feeling some dread build up my stomach, I get out of the car and slowly walk around the side of the building. Flynn joins me. The hell's going on? It's an alley between the print shop and what I think is a laundromat. Nothing is in the alley except for a few dumpsters and clumps of garbage. I step carefully around puddles covered in oil slick and wonder if maybe he just really wanted to smoke. Carl? Something shifts on the other side of the dumpsters and I hear sniffling. Wordlessly, I walk around the dumpster to the other side. Carl is bent over, his back to me, paws on his knees. His whole body is shaking, his breaths are ragged. Holy shit, Carl! Before I can do anything, Flynn's at his side. You okay, man? What happened? The stench of vomit hits my nose, and I don't need to look closer to know what the puddle between Carl's hooves is. Carl makes sure to turn his face away from us, not saying a word. Shit! I dash back to the car and open the passenger door so I can get to the glove box. I pull out a few napkins before hurrying back to the Ram. When I return, Flynn is quietly rubbing his back. He takes them from me wordlessly and starts wiping his face. The last time I'd seen Carl like this was just last year when he had his panic attack at school. I didn't think he'd have that problem now after all the therapy and time away. I feel kind of useless just standing there watching them. He's at least not hyperventilating. The Ram has his horns pressed up against the wall, taking deep breaths as he wipes his face again. Why do I suck at everything? He says it quietly between gasps, but I can make it out. Yeah, not everything. Come on, let's go. He starts to pull on his arm, but he yanks it from him violently. Don't touch me! Flynn and I are stunned into silence. I just stare at him, mouth open. He glances at me and his eyes are red, and for once it's not because of weed. Carl starts off toward the car on his own, spitting off to the side as he does. Carl, what happened? He whirls on me. I fucked up, obviously. Any more fucking questions? A few, yeah. His voice breaks apart in the last sentence and he turns away from us as his face starts to screw up. My stomach feels hollow as I watch Carl get into the car. I've never ever seen him like this. He immediately hunches forward behind the driver's seat, head in his paws. I slowly walk up to the driver's side door, feeling like shit myself. Flynn joins me. The Gila tugs at the scales around his chin, teeth grit. His expression is just bizarre, like intermittent smile and almost nauseous-looking face in between almost nauseous-looking face contortions. Fuck! We sit for a while waiting to see if Carl's going to say anything. He does. I'm sorry. He blurts it out through his fingers. I look over at him, scared to say anything in case I say the wrong thing. It was a disaster, dudes. He takes in deep, shuddering breath. You could tell I wasn't into it right away. I was awkward as fuck. He leans back and tugs at his shirt. Shit, this isn't me. They knew it and it got me nervous. I've been nervous ever since I put on these clothes. Since I got this stupid trim. We sit in silence for a long, long time until Carl finally looks at me and smiles. God damn it, we all knew it was gonna happen, right? Just like it probably with you, Chase, and with your uncle, Flynn. I'm just a fuck-up. Nah, this is my fault, man. I told you I was gonna coach you and I never got around to it. And I'm the tit dude who made Dax stay behind. Maybe he could've helped. I don't fucking know. The Gila takes in a seething breath. You can't be expected to go into this shit blind, spit out exactly what some mid-level manager named Skyle wants to hear. World's fucked like that, just banging walls sometimes. No, dude, I'm the one that screwed up the interview. Carl settles back into his seat. Now with that fuck up out of the way, I sigh, looking out at the hazy horizon in the direction where I know Echo is. On to the next. None of this fucking matters, Carl, don't worry. Flynn gives me a look, then closes his eyes. I don't know if Flynn believes what he's saying. So with that, I turn the ignition and pull out of the parking lot, leaving the print shop and its alley far, far behind us. It's quiet inside. Not that I expect any noise or anything, but still. Flynn's desk was pretty clean except for a stack of documents labeled March 1st County Code Amendment Board Review. Upon closer inspection, there also appears to be a book propped against his monitor. Municipal Economic Development, Free Market Solutions for Public Problems. A sticky note is attached to the front with flowery cursive handwriting that states, "Read this." I hear Flynn step up behind me, seeming to notice my gawking. He doesn't say anything, though. Instead, he just walks over to his computer chair and takes a seat. Carl ambles in after him. If I didn't know better, I'd think I was high. I think it was high, judging by how puffy and red his eyes are. You don't actually come inside here too often, do you, Carl? Carl shakes his head. Still really with your secretary. Carl half mumbles. Clerk. Flynn rests his elbow on the desk, rubbing his fingers together. You know elections are coming up soon. There's a few positions up for grabs. He looks to Carl, and it takes a few seconds for Carl to look back and get the meaning. That's cool, I guess. Flynn opens his mouth, pauses, and speaks. Maybe even the clerk position. I was heading toward the main role, but that catches my attention. I stop. What? Do you think you'll be, voted out? Flynn shrugs. I might not run. Carl lets out a little huffy noise, sniffing and wiping his nose with the inside of his shirt. So, you're going back to unloading freight? Flynn doesn't respond immediately, as if weighing something in his mind. He pushes the power button on his desktop tower, and the whir of the internal fan breaks the silence. I may not even be here. Even Carl looks up now. Huh? The Gila seems to grimace slightly, his maw pulled into a sneer as if whinging at itself. Fucking... Chase, you gonna get your shit scanned or not? I straighten some, not really having expected him to shift focus and snap at me. Fuck. Just, as Flynn said, none of this matters. Well, at least that's what he wants me to think. I step past Carl midway to the mailroom. The mailroom looks a little different for some reason. It's not nearly as neat as it was, with some of the parcel folders scattered on the main table, documents dog-eared and tape-tagged. I step forward and the heel of my foot hits something hard and metal. It rolls out from beneath me and I have to use my tail to catch my balance. Jesus fuck! I find myself involuntarily clutching my chest, trying to gain my composure as I check what I nearly broke my neck on. Fireplace poker? Well, actually, pokers. There's 5 of them just sitting there on the floor. Thank God I didn't step on the pointed end. What are these even doing here? I step around the pile and I hear the sound of Flynn's raspy voice from the other room. I can't quite make out what he's saying, though. For now, I decided to just focus on the project. It looks like some of the folders I went through are still on the desk. I thought I put these away. Maybe the mayor was checking to make sure I didn't take anything, or just curious what I was looking at. Well, it doesn't matter now. It actually cuts down some work out of trying to find most of the stuff. I plug in my keychain or thumb drive to the printer and begin scanning. I can't help but think about Carl in the print shop while I'm at it. He's basically been on a giant summer vacation for the past 2 years with no real worries about money or anything. You go from that to having to wake up every morning at 6, then drive all the way to Peyton, and then do this for 8 hours. I mean, it's easy, I think. Once you get the basic handle of things, it's the kind of job that you can do on autopilot. You can drift away and just daydream most of the day. I had jobs like that growing up. Hell, if I went to Mason's to Pueblo, I would have probably ended up being the till at Leo's dad's place. Despite everything, I can't help but feel that might have actually been kind of fun. Leo's dad is really nice, always offering to help with things and never seeming too skeeved regarding gay stuff. But, of course, I had to get away from this town. And Peyton's not far enough. I'm still not even sure I like journalism. I mean, the classes are interesting and all, but I'm imagining trying to sell myself and my work to all these outlets and... I don't know. I guess I don't really have the energy for it. Plus, I never really liked looking at myself on screen. Oh. There's Sam and Cynthia, okay. Huh, I don't really remember seeing this one before. This must be from a folder I didn't look at. There's no descriptive text attached to it. I place the photo on the scanner. After a few minutes, I think I've got most of what I would need. I remove my thumb drive and turn the power off for the scanner. As I step out into the hall, I notice that the door to the mayor's office is open. It's still pretty quiet in here. You know, I never really knew much about Flynn's aunt. She was kind of in and out of his life growing up, from what I recall, and usually didn't stick around Echo for long. Her and Flynn's uncle had a weird relationship, and it wasn't like I ever hung out at Flynn's place enough to learn more. He was always just a bit too old to really pal around with like I did with the rest of the group. I mean, Leo was like a year younger, but he didn't really act like it. Flynn was basically an adult by the time he was 14, by the way he handled himself, all self-reliant and such. Curious, I step in the office and I'm taken aback by how much it smells like potpourri. What the fuck? My nose takes me to the source. A small bowl filled with slightly decayed plant life of a wide variety of colors. It gives the office a sort of flower garden scent, which really doesn't match the aesthetic. Black, white, and red everywhere, like a supervillain who could only buy hobby shop decorations. I step over a small pile of alabaster quartz which sits in a ceramic dish on the floor, which is strange, of course. There's a weird-looking globe on the edge of her desk, too. I step closer and notice several little prongs, which hover over what I think is the meridian. Actually, there's no landmass indications or any labeling on the sphere to speak of. I reach out and touch the smooth plastic surface. Pressing down, I give the globe a gentle spin. As it rotates, the middle prong begins to bounce like a dowsing rod before sticking to the surface. As the sphere continues to spin, the sticky effect lessens and it bounces back. Must be a magnet on the other side. I spin it some more and the other prongs lead slightly towards specific points in the globe. It's kind of a weird knick-knack. What is that? I swear, there's not really anything in here that can help me with my project. With that, I make my way back to the front office. Suddenly, a familiar lynx rounds the corner. Chase? What are you doing here? He stops in his tracks, switching with himself. The feline keeps rolling and unrolling the bottom of his shirt. I don't see any sign of Flynn or Carl. Hi TJ, I was with Flynn and Carl. I'm scanning some stuff for my project. Oh. He frowns in acknowledgement, nodding. How did Carl's job interview go? His frown shifts to a tepid smile away my response. Not good. And just like that, it's gone. Oh. Well, there's a lot of work in Peyton. He'll snag one eventually, won't he, Chase? I hold my arms over my chest. I think he might need to get over some stuff before trying again, honestly. Anxiety, all that sort of junk. TJ nods. Weren't you going hiking? TJ glances to the side, seeming to eye each open door with a sense of wariness. Flynn texted me and said he wanted to talk. You know about what happened at the lake. I blink. And you agreed. My voice comes out a bit more surprised than I intended it to. Again, TJ nods. TJ, you don't have to... It's my decision, Chase. I want to help. I sort of knew this was coming when I came back. And I know it hurts Flynn. Despite his words, TJ doesn't look remotely confident, the lynx shifting restlessly. But I didn't know that you would be here, though. I don't know exactly how to respond to that, so I pull up my phone and tap away, giving the lynx an understanding nod. Sort of the Carl maneuver, I guess. Well, don't worry, TJ, it'll be okay, I think. You think? We're back. Carl got sick again. Puked all over the historic hanging tree. Carl offers a meek wave, which freezes when he sees TJ standing next to me. He quickly shoves both of his paws into his front pockets. Flynn notices TJ as well. He doesn't show any signs of nervousness. Jesus, is this really happening? He moves over to us and rests his behind on the back of his desk, his large tail wrapping around it. There's something about the sight that accentuates how damn huge he is, and I can't help but wonder if he's doing it on purpose. Carl remains motionless by the door. We lock eyes for a moment, but our attention shifts as Flynn speaks. Thanks for, showing up and stuff. TJ says nothing, the lynx standing next to a small pot, which he keeps bouncing his foot against. I see Flynn's Adam's apple bob, the heel away in his palate like his whole mouth has gone dry. Meanwhile, Carl looks about to be sick again. Oh, this is fucked. This is a fucked choice. This is a fucked choice, man. You have TJ, who's about to be interrogated about fucking Sydney's death. You have Flynn, who's most likely really unsettled about this as well. And you have Carl, who's literally just off the heels of failing his job interview. And good grief, I don't even know, man. I am very... You know what, fuck it, Flynn. I gingerly step over beside the large Gila. He raises the brow as I approach. What's the old saying? He may be an asshole, but he's my asshole. That might have more of a sexual connotation than I intended. Regardless, I told Flynn I wouldn't stop him when he finally did this. The question is now whether I can manage to keep my word or not. TJ, you can sit if you want. I don't want to sit. Lynx responds quickly. Want some water or soda? You still drink soda, or does that give you too many health points? I don't need anything to drink. Thank you, though. The feline remains on edge, guarded, seemingly readying himself for the heel to explode like he did back at the river. So I'll ask you again. What happened, TJ? For some reason, hearing those words again makes my heart lurch within my chest. This is so fucked up. And I told you, I don't know. How the hell can you not know? You were there. Play it back to me, step by step. Flynn... I see the lizard's tail pull inward. Flynn himself is stone-faced, but he can't keep that thing still. I rest my paw on the small of his back, and Flynn's shoulders raise some. God, sensitive everywhere, isn't he? TJ notices us and shifts awkwardly. He looks toward the exit, his longing to be out of the situation pretty evident. All details, I don't care what you think is insignificant or not. TJ takes a deep breath. We were all playing on the beach. I was building a sandcastle. It wasn't much sand, so I was using mud. Jenna helped. So Jenna was with you? Not the whole time. Sydney ran up and did a wrestling move on it. You were behind Sydney. You laughed. I think Carl did too. No. Carl's protest is barely audible. I'm starting to remember some of this. Carl was asleep, wasn't he? And Leo? He was finding skipping stones, I think. Leo wasn't there. Leo's prepubescent voice fills my mind. I'm sorry. His language skills weren't great, so he just stumbled through a sobbed apology. I promise protecting all of you, from now on. Chase was. He looks over me for a moment. Yes, he caught up with me after I ran off. Flynn, you were there for this part. You remember all this. I remember Jenna coming up and yelling at me about Sydney. You were the one who told him to destroy my sandcastle. Flynn's eyes narrow. This isn't about your stupid fucking sandcastle. TJ crosses his arms over his stomach as if hugging himself. Sid's dead. What happened? You see TJ's legs starting to shake some beneath him. I have to stop this. Flynn, enough. He looks at me, his eyes a little wider. What? This isn't going anywhere. You're just making it awkward. Fucking what? You're just I don't give a fucking shit. If it makes you a little uncomfy like. You're all goddamn adults. I'm sure you're expensive therapists to talk about it, so talk about it. She's caught up with me. All eyes shift back to TJ. He kept asking where Leo was. Then he ran off. Flynn looks to me. I couldn't find him. Someone's knocking on the door. Here we go again. What are you doing? Jenna marches in with her phone and grasp, seeming to ignore everyone else in the room but the Gila. Flynn grits his teeth, swearing under his breath. This absolutely better be the scene of you apologizing. Her gaze finally shifts to the rest of us. Judging by the expressions on her face, I think she's able to quickly discern that is not the case. You are completely out of line. Jenna, not now. TJ came here on his own volition. You're disgusting, you know that? You get pleasure out of toying with people. You always have, no matter how much it hurts them. She stands in the center of all of us, speaking in a clear, solid tone. It doesn't seem to matter that she's over a foot and a half smaller than Flynn. I fucking hate this bitch. I fucking hate this cunt. Oh my god. Like I was saying, TJ came here on his own accord. The others can vouch for that. There's only so much can be of his own accord when you've been harassing him with text messages all week. Sydney was my best friend. I'm fucking entitled to know what happened. You are entitled to nothing. Jenna retorts quickly, speaking in a tone that's as sharp as a knife. The room goes quiet. Jenna's glare is unwavering from Flynn, who's looking at the floor now. Finally, she speaks again. It would be best if you just left now, Flynn. You're in my office. Your office? She lets out a quick, exasperated breath. You are a receptionist at a publicly funded city hall for a town of barely 50 people. You need to get over yourself. Jesus, no. Fuck. Leo pushes his way in past Carl, the wolf also looking at his phone. Flynn! TJ and I do our best to get out of the way. He doesn't even notice me. Flynn stands straight up. What? You know what? Wolf seems to put himself between the heel and TJ. Flynn just blinks, holding the flat of his large hands. I'm not going to hit him, Jesus shit fucking Christ! Suddenly looks straight at Carl. I told you it's a goddamn conspiracy! He almost had a disgusted noise. Is that what you think? It couldn't possibly be your track record of manipulative, self-centered, and downright mean-spirited behavior. Flynn clenches his fist. Y'all are so fucking quick to damn me! All I want to know is the fucking truth! I feel Flynn's arm bristle against my own. It's like what happened at the river all over again! I lean close to him, replying back. I know. The truth is that Cindy was an accident and died. And you are completely unable to accept that. You are not the only person who has lost someone. Your way of making yourself feel better is by bringing everyone else down with you. That's unacceptable. You can't let go, can ya? Just a total control freak who thinks they know what's best and who deserves what. We all know you hated Sid the most. Hell, you told Carl you were glad he was dead years ago. And guess what? He told me. Carl looks down at his hooves. Just about to speak again, but Flynn cuts her off. TJ, go on from where you left off. We get 1 week with our old friends, our family, and you ruin it, man. TJ stills himself tight. I need to do something. I release my hold on TJ and step forward. No, I refuse. I fucking refuse. No. Fuck this shit, man. I literally can't do anything else. I have to fucking condemn him. I fucking hate this shit. I actually fucking hate this shit. What the fuck? No, I don't want to. The healer's jaw drops as I stand beside Jenna. I can't let you do this anymore, Flynn. I'm not just your damn toy who we can use for your stupid plan. I just wanted to help you, to fucking understand you for once. Remember what you said? I'll beat the shit out of him I have to. No. He didn't say that! He didn't say what the fuck, dude? Why? No! Chichi backs away, some his eyes widening. Jenna furrows her brow at Flynn, who looks a mix of befuddled and rage. That's not happening. Bullshit! The giant healer practically hisses. I don't think any of that shit you said about Leo was true either. At first you just kept saying he's changed and all he does is bully people and fuck randoms. He didn't say this! What are you doing? Jen's right, you just manipulate people to get what you want. Wow. You knew damn well what I was hoping that I wanted. I make sure to look at Leo with a sort of sorrowful, longing look. I trail off and Leo quickly steps up. Go on. I bite my tongue from what Flynn seemed like he's about to pop. I peer up at Leo, his blood just ran cold by the look of him. You made me think you didn't care and he actually loved me. All I wanted to do was fuck, man. He kept saying I shouldn't see you, that you were dangerous and need to help him plan his interrogation. He's making it all up. Didn't you see what he just did? He does it all the time now. That's why I texted you guys. I didn't want what? Hugh texted? I didn't want TJ to get hurt. You're the one who texted them? Jeez. Next I know, Leo was bending down to scoop me up into his embrace, his muscled arms around my back. It feels good despite the circumstances of hugging back. The fuck is this? What the fuck is this? What the... Thank you, Flynn. Thank you, Flynn. What the fuck? You false motherfucker! Flynn? Jenny, you have to... Just shut up. The look in her face is absolute revulsion at this whole situation. Man, it's been a long week, I mutter. I feel the wolf just shake his head, his cheek rubs firmly against mine. Fuck yeah, it has. What? No! Carl speaks up from the corner of the room. His voice is faint, we all hear it. Dudes, Flynn wouldn't hurt TJ. I don't know why you guys would think that he would. Even if he did say it. Carl's voice peters out meekly. Leo pulls back from me and I feel a weird sense of loss. Maybe I'm just touch-starved or something. This sort of bad business sounds like sounds just like him, yeah? I knew it. I just knew he was trying to take you on her. What the fuck? What the fuck? Even Jenna gives Leo a bit of a sidelong look, and was manipulating TJ that too. Yeah, it's quickly. He just keeps frowning, his face flashing with a blank stare. I don't, pretend to understand the whole Chase Flynn thing, but almost none of that sounds like him. You think I'm some sort of femme fatale type, seducing poor fucking innocent Chase to do my bidding? Absolute balls! Did you? Did I what? Leo says nothing able to bring the words to reality. He shakes his head and I think I can see his fangs starting to bare. Flynn throws up his arm, letting out an exasperated exhale. Yeah, Leo, I fucked him. And he moaned like a Leo tosses such a fierce slug of a punch that Flynn's face looks like it vibrates in place. The healer crumples to the ground. Leo! Leo kicks the large lizard's waist as he attempts to cover himself, Flynn letting out I hate this so Yeah, you patchy shit! Who's moan like a bitch now, eh? Stop! Flynn, are you... Oh! No! 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 Hey. Jesus, Leo! What? What the hell? I roll my eyes, Flynn is still on the floor and Leo is leaning over him, fist clenched. What the hell did I just see? Am I dreaming? I try pinching myself. That's how they do it in the movies, right? Nothing happens. Stop! TJ practically shrieks. All heads turn, even Flynn. They're just looking a little battered. TJ, I saw how Sydney died. His voice is so quiet in contrast to his initial yell, it's like a splash of cold water. Geez, you don't have to give this piece of dirt the satisfaction. I want to. He deserves as much. He seems to take a moment to get his breathing steady, the link's looking shaky. I had run off to be alone by the water on the far side of the beach by the outlet. I was upset and I wasn't watching the water. There was someone shouting in the distance. It just sounded like, I don't know how you guys used to be. Loud, you know. Lynx rubs his paws together, rocking upon his feet. About 10 minutes passed and I heard a splashing sound nearby. I looked up. I thought I saw someone in the water. There were bubbles, lots of bubbles. And then I looked up and saw this thing standing down the shore a ways. It was really tall, like a person, but burned all over, like hot ashes in a fire pit. What? Tears brim at the edges of TJ's eyes. It started walking into the water, and I just ran. I ran and I ran and I ran. Carl looks up at TJ dumbfounded. Please? Flynn sputters, visibly in pain. No more fucking bullshit! I'm serious. I've talked to so many therapists, counselors, youth group leaders, and no one believes me. TJ's brow wrinkles, his chest heaving before finally the Lynx breaks down into a sob. No one will ever believe me. It hurts so much and I'm so scared all of the time. It's quiet. We all stand there watching the Lynx cry. No one speaks, no one reaches out to him. Snot runs down from his nose. He tries to wipe it off with the inside of his shirt, but he just smears it. He clutches at his own whiskers, tugging at them. As I was running back a quarter mile away, someone tackled me into the water. They held me under so long, lights started popping in front of my eyes. The Lynx gestures opening and closing his paws in front of his face. Everything after that got fuzzy like I was dreaming. I saw something just under the water, in a completely different spot. Two bodies, Both had brown fur, that's all I could see, undulating in this constant, restless motion. It all comes back so quickly. The sky is overcast, the air crisp. Autumn. TJ sitting in a daze, Jenna running back to town, Flynn pulling me into the water, me grabbing onto neck scruff, pulling back to shore. Carl sitting on a rock bawling. Leo starts trying to do compressions. And Sydney just stares. Sirens, the helicopter rotors, adults everywhere. I'm home, Mom's holding me, Dad puts on my favorite movie I watch. But still, Sydney stares. 2 bodies, both with brown fur. Slowly I start to feel their eyes shift toward me. All except for TJ, who only stares at the floor and mutters, "I'm sorry." I look to Flynn, Carl, Jenna, Leo, and they all have the same look in their eyes. Nothing of malice, hatred, or contempt, but a sort of mournful pondering, both with brown fur. No way, Chula, this little joke has gone too far. Leo looks to the others. Jesus, I didn't do it. Yeah, I know that, Otter. You and I were closer than any people I know, yeah? I would have found out if you did. I mean, you went through that whole emo phase, bearing your soul to me constantly. You were a whingy little bastard, remember? He puts on a smile, seeming to shine like a spotlight on the others in the hopes that it will be contagious. It isn't. TJ? The Lynx just sniffs. Why didn't you ever tell the police this? I thought the monster got him. We didn't find Sydney by the outlet, TJ. Jenna looks troubled, more troubled than I've seen her look in years. She's always the stoic figure of rationality and thinking things apart logically, but now, she's just quiet. Flynn and Carl keep staring at me. I know what they think. It's wrong. Flynn gives me a long, blank look before walking toward me. Flynn, Oh no, oh no. Oh my God, Flynn! Jenna's voice comes out muffled as I stagger back, grabbing my jaw. Ow! It feels like my brain is scraping the top of my skull. I just want to lay down and sleep. My knees go weak and I feel myself teetering backward as if in slow motion. For some reason, it's like I'm expecting nice, cool water to get my backside. That tipping sensation sticks with me and I realize I'm not actually falling. Flynn! 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 Leo's shout keeps repeating, and each time it's quieter and more distorted than before. You hold your paw out up in front of your face, and you actually do it. You move. I didn't do that. The kids in front of you are just red blurs. I just want to lay down. Don't. There's a black and orange figure in front of you. Don't let the lizard hurt him again. You hear shouting, but not from inside. Outside. The blurred group isn't looking at you anymore. Get out. I don't care. A cracking voice comes from outside. If I had to guess, it sounds like it's coming from down the block. Everyone but Flynn is peering out a small window near the door. The heel, however, is still staring at me. His eyes look like they're shaking in their sockets. I can't sing. What the fuck? Oh, how you test me so. I fall upon my knees and ask you where to go. What's going on? Carl tries to peer past the bulk of Leo to see where the commotion is going from. My head is still reeling from Flynn's punch. He's never hit me before. Well, never seriously. He wasn't ever the sort that got into physical fights growing up, usually just stomp and sulk if something truly upset him. But now, he doesn't look like he's budging. It's Clint! What is he yelling at? God? Leo looks over his shoulder, peering at me. You okay, Otter? I feel heaven's call in my every canyon's edge. Just past the overlook window, or at the bottom of the water, all tied up with a kedge. I feel myself backing up. It's like how I felt in the roller coaster, strapped in on the chain lift. What's happening to me? Chase? Flynn begins to follow. Flynn, you stay right there, I'll beat your ass double hard, yeah? Leo, for God's sake, all of you stop! Where are you going? I make a sound. I think I say home, but it comes out rather garbled. You can't keep running away from this shit! TJ squints his nose pressed against the window pane. He's holding something. Yeah. I keep stepping back. My legs feel like they're vibrating. My movements are abrupt and jerky. I manage to get into the hallway and approach a door covered with caution tape. A placard denotes it as the reading room. I grasp the handle. I have to give it a hard shove before it budges. The door is heavy. I'm nearly overwhelmed by the musty smell from the inside. The corner of the room is completely stained from the rain damage, and the roof is boarded up. There was an exit here, but it's gone now. Why do I know that? I stare at the little section of wall where the old wooden door used to be. A small picture of a group of quail crossing a dried wash in its place. As I move to leave, I notice the door won't open. It's hard stuck in place, locked. Fuck. A sharp crack runs out from somewhere outside, followed by the quick scurrying of feet on the carpeted floor of the lobby. A gunshot. I try the door again more fervently, hoping that I'm just pulling a Carl here and pulling when I should be pushing. Still nothing. Fuck. More shots ring out, this time accompanied by a dull thud and the sound of stucco being shattered. Those ones hit the building. I get down on the floor, my heart pounding. It still feels like I'm moving in slow motion, even with the adrenaline pumping through my veins. What the hell is wrong with me? I hear the front door open, followed by more scurrying upon the carpet. Why the hell they ran outside? I hear an engine start, then the splaying of gravel as what sounds like Leo's van drives off. They left me? Even Leo? I crawl on the floor, making my way toward the corner of the room. I pinch myself, trying to snap out of this strange malaise. I can hear the occasional shout from out in the street, but it's all gibberish now. Leaning back against the wall, I rub my throbbing temples. Tweakers. Couldn't have showed up at a better time. I try to listen to see if the shouting is getting closer, but it's difficult to tell. If that really is Clint, this is really out of character for him. He never really was the singing type. Screaming out faggots, yes, but singing, no. Looking around, it seems like most of the old books and such have been taken off the shelves and put in assorted boxes to prevent water damage. Having lived here my whole life, I've never actually been inside here. That feels quite a feat, noting I've covered damn near every square inch of town. There's a few binders and booklets near my side with titles like Colville Storm Water Drainage Plan, 1999, and Drought Resistant Plant Guide. Next to them, there's what looks to be like some kind of unopened canister of fumigation stuff. I reach down to grab when I notice the fur on my arm. It's wriggling. A couple brown strands of fur seem to bounce back and forth, and I become cognizant that my arm has been tingling for a while now. Glancing past my fingertips, I see this beige mass near the end of my foot, and that's when I see the legs. A blonde tarantula about an inch away from the tips of my toes. Ah! My throat closes in on itself before I can fully scream. I blink, writhing back. Next thing I know, it's on my chest. It moves faster than I can even see. Its pittering legs feel like they're all over me. I grab the edge of my shirt, trying to fling it off, but it's already on my neck. I slap at it, feeling the squish and hearing a very light, clicking squeak. The edge of my neck begins to burn, and I pull back my paw to inspect my palm. There is no tarantula. Instead, I see the 8 razor-thin legs and black abdomen. On the abdomen, there's a splotchy pigmentation of red. The number 8. My pulse quickens when I realize it's an hourglass. Black Widow. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I look down at my arms again, and realize it isn't just my fur moving. There are little red and black specks everywhere. No! I tear at my own shirt, jump into my knees, and trying to bat at the seemingly infinite number of spindly fanged arachnids. Each time I bat at my arms, more of their guts cover my paw pads and fur until it feels my paws are wet. It's not just my arms anymore, they're inside my shirt, my shorts, my face. I try to plunge at my nose, keep my muzzle shut as I roll on the floor, not daring at my mouth to scream. I feel my shirt off, then pull up my shorts. I see the webbing of the nest I had sat upon the fabric of the shorts, oodles of the baby and not-so-baby spiders crawling out. Naked, I manage to scramble to my feet and run to the other side of the room. I tear at my own fur, pulling out spider-filled clumps in the process with such ferocity that the skin beneath bleeds. I pull and pull, my vision blurred from my own fear-induced weeping. The needle-shot sensation when they bite is the worst part. It doesn't hurt as much as I thought it would, but I can feel it every time, over and over again. I pull a large one off my face and throw it to the ground to scruff a fur and send my goatee going with it. Dancing up and down, I try to shake the remaining ones off, but they cling incessantly. Trying to pull each one off is impossible, they're too fast. Sometimes I only manage to grab a few legs or the thick abdomen, and the rest of them remains embedded in my fur. Spider blood isn't red or green like it is in the video games or movies. It's this faint blue kind of color. It feels like it's all over me. I take rapid short breaths, each one of them more strained than the last. My whole body shakes. I can't tell whether they're symptoms of panic or the venom itself. I try the door again, pulling and pushing as hard as I can before throwing myself at it. Nothing happens. I kick at it like they do in the movies. Nothing happens. I'm stuck, trapped, but I can see the spiders everywhere. Even after getting most of them off, they're all over the floor, the walls, the ceiling of my clothes. I retreat to the dampest, water-stained corner of the room. The strain is so bad, it looks like it's been burned black. Spiders don't like most areas. I remember reading about that, at least. I continue to pick at my fur even after I think they're all gone. I can still feel them. I can also feel my muscle in my neck and shoulder begin to cramp. My stomach feels like it's being twisted inside out, and it's long before I get the sensation of hot bile rising out my throat. The rough edges of the morning's rice treats scrape my insides. I reel forward as it all comes spewing out of my mouth. I can't breathe, it burns so much. I try to call out for help, but every time I open my mouth, it's just more vomit. There's another Black Widow climbing up my leg, but I can't focus enough to swat at it. Each breath I take is blubbering like acid going straight into my lungs. I just need someone to help me. I clench my eyes shut and tight, and when I open them, everything's different. The modern bookshelves and electronic equipment are replaced with all this old-timey crap I can't make out. But I see it past a big wooden chair, a door. How the hell? Puking is slowed to a trickle from the edges of my mouth, and my insides still burn. I manage to push myself off the wall, stepping upon creaky floorboards that weren't there a minute ago. I stumble past an old wagon wheels and pause what looks like Bibles. Eventually I reach the light. The door is already open ajar, so I can just push. And it doesn't budge. No! Why? Why won't it open? I sink down to the floor, half collapsing as my knees start to give out. Help! I finally managed to croak out. Good Lord. I managed to turn my head in the direction of the voice. A blurry figure now stands in the room, his voice one of shock. Professor Tibbets! I can't tell if he's looking at me or past me. Cliff? And just like that, he's gone. The room is still here. It's all red like before. I feel compelled to stand up again, but my legs won't budge. I just can't. Everything hurts. I shift my eyes down. The Black Widow that was crawling at me earlier is now a blonde tarantula. Why? Why is this happening? Someone... I can't think straight. I just want to go home. Leo! Mom! Help! I miss home. God, I wish I was home. I hate this. Why won't anyone help? Why they all leave me? Why can't I get out? Useless. No. Don't tell me that. Just die already. I'm not gonna die. I'm not. The cramp in my muscles is the most intense I've ever felt. It's like the flesh itself is being peeled from the bone, each nerve ending plucked like whiskers. The tarantula's on my face now, and the tip of my nose. I can see all of its eyes, and in those eyes I see the reflection of my own. Its dusty blonde hair begins to shift, dissolving into darkness contrasting with neon orange markings. And then it becomes nothing. I close my eyes and wait. What the fuck? Find him. Okay, that's it. That's it for today, guys. That was fucking intense. Episode of highs, I guess. Emotional highs. Bye. Bye.